What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to make a video that I don't necessarily want to make, but it's got to happen. It's going to be kind of interesting, maybe a little informing to all you guys. There's a problem, I believe, with my turbocharger, and we're going to diagnose that today. I'm going to go over everything that has happened in the past few weeks and what's actually changed with the turbo setup, and explain what is happening in my turbocharger and the faults that we are having. So sit back, relax, grab a Coke. I'm going to grab some sunglasses because my eyes are killing me because of the sun. I'm going to push the Miata out so we can get some sunlight on the engine bay, and let's do this. Like I said before, we've been having problem with the CX Racing turbocharger, and specifically what the problem has been is over boosting, so like a boost spike. Just real quick, before the accident, this never happened. I'm not blaming anyone for this. It could be very well my doing. But let's get into what exactly we changed. We needed to change with the tube front end. Again, this is no one's fault at all. This is just what is happening right now, and I want to explain it to you guys because some of you guys out there are pretty smart. Some of you guys say weird things sometimes, but I'm going to explain everything I know, and maybe it is a very simple solution, but I have a feeling there's an actual problem with the turbocharger, and I actually might have to get a new one. So let's just dive right into this and explain what we have changed since the tube front end. With this tube front end setup, I'm not going to get into anything else other than what we have changed to the entire turbocharger setup. First things first, we had to clock the cold side of the turbo a different direction. The intercooler piping used to actually come out from down there, so the inlet right there used to be down instead of here. So that's slightly changed where the wastegate actuator or the wastegate sits, and the rod is now exactly perfect with it instead of being a little bit bent. Also, we have a different intercooler now, so it is a little bigger, and because of that, the piping is different. Like I said before, we had to change the setup with the cold side of the turbo so the piping would fit just very easy right through here and inside of the turbocharger. Before, it used to go like in, down, around because we had a bumper. We had to watch out for a lot of stuff, and the same thing with this side. It just goes right here, through there, through there, through there, and into the intercooler right there. So to sum things up, wastegate got moved a hair, clocked the turbo differently, different intercooler piping. The intercooler piping diameter is the same, but we have less piping altogether. Also, last thing, the blow-off valve is faced downward now. It used to be faced on its side over here. It makes slightly different noises. I'll make that in a different video. I don't think that is necessarily the problem, especially because it has to do with more of the exhaust side of the turbo, not the cold side of the turbo, but I don't know. If you notice right now, the wastegate rod is actually disconnected from the flapper. So what this little guy does is it actually opens a window to let the exhaust gases escape so you don't build any more boost. So what essentially would happen is this rod would be connected to this bad boy, and it would have tension on it, and once there's enough tension on it, it would open completely, and then you wouldn't be gaining or losing any more boost. You would just stay at your number. So depending on where this rod is and where it's turned, there would be, you'd either have anywhere from like 2 to 8 psi. This is an 8 psi spring in this wastegate. So I was running about 8 psi from the spring, and then the boost controller got me up to 11 psi. Ever since the accident, when I'd floor it at 6,200 RPMs or so, it would overboost. And I have a fuel cut for overboosting, so it's very safe, but at the same time it's kind of annoying. But anything I did would make it overboost. The first thing I did was thinking, oh, since the wastegate was clocked differently, since the turbo was clocked differently, the wastegate is in a slightly different area, so I spun this rod back down to make it so I would get less boost. I also turned off my boost controller so it wouldn't get anywhere near 11 psi because the spring inside the wastegate is an 8-pound spring, so it would max out at 8 pounds. So I did that. I moved the rod back to about 6 pounds, and that actually worked for a little bit. From 4,200 RPMs to about 5,500 RPMs, it would stay at 6 pounds, the boost, when I was in full throttle. And then when I got anywhere from 5,500, it started climbing from 6 pounds all the way to 12, and then my overboost protection would come in, and then there would be a fuel cut. So then the thought was maybe this flapper isn't opening all the way and could be a problem with the rod not letting it open all the way, not actuate all the way. So what I did then was take this off completely to where I really shouldn't have built boost at all. But the same problem happened around 62, 6,300 RPMs. I overboosted. But with that rod actually taken out, I wasn't getting 6 pounds of boost at 4,200 RPMs. Instead of, I was gaining boost very, 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 very slowly all the way to 6,300. So at like 4,200 RPMs, instead of having 6 pounds of boost, I had like 1 pound of boost. And at 4,800 RPMs, I had like 2 pounds of boost, and then I kept going up and up and up and up all the way to 12, and then the overboost protection came in and I had a fuel cut. The problem is this window, in here, there's a window that opens and closes to let the exhaust gas release from the turbine housing or whatever it is that it's making it spin. So when it opens, it has a lot less pressure in here, so the exhaust gas escapes from like a little window that's inside the turbocharger. That goes straight to the exhaust instead of going through here, then to the exhaust. So the question is this window not opening enough? Is it getting stuck on something? I obviously can't see in there. It's making a clicking sound like it's hitting the wall, and I don't know, it definitely, you can definitely move it in and out with your hand so it doesn't feel stuck, but I'm not sure if this actually moved out farther than it did before. I just never tried it before this happens. I know my vacuum line routing is good because what I had on it before, it never changed. I took the boost controller off, I put it straight to the wastegate to a vacuum source, so that was good too. So honestly, I don't know what the problem is. I guess my next plan of attack would be to call CX Racing, because that is not only the turbocharger kit, everything on the kit, except for the intercooler now, but my extra turbo is from CX Racing too, even though it didn't come in the CX Racing turbocharger kit for the 1990 through 1993 Miata. I still have a CX Racing turbo. So I guess my next plan of attack would be go inside, call CX Racing, tell them everything I've said right now, and see what they say. I already know they don't run a warranty on their turbochargers. Their turbochargers are definitely cheap. It was like $200 opposed to a Garrett. That would be anywhere from $1,300 to like $2,000. I am sweating profusely right now, and I have to take this car to school in a couple of hours, and I'm gonna be dead because it's gonna be 1 o'clock. It's gonna be the hottest time of the day. By the way, school started, so the car still drives, I just can't ramp on it, which is okay. You know, it's not a huge deal. Wow, this is gonna be horrible. San Diego has never been this hot the entire summer until right now, and I have to drive a top-down Miata that has no AC. Sick life. Hey, is there someone I can talk to about a technical problem? Yeah, a technical problem about a problem?
Yeah, sure. Let me get you transferred over. 1 second, okay?
Thank you. I feel like my eyesight has been recently getting worse from looking at screens all the time. Computer, phone. That's about all the screens I have, but yeah. Hey, I have I believe I have a problem with my wastegate door on my CX Racing turbocharger.
I know a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll shave the inside down a little bit.
They'll like open it up and shave it down?
Yeah, they'll shave just a little bit on the inside so it gets a little more airflow. Mm-hmm. So the flapper. So like you'll pull back the flapper, blow valve is not releasing enough pressure to, so it's gonna, the valve's gonna have, we call it, a boost screen.
Okay, so it could potentially be the blow-off valve too, you're saying?
Yeah, the blow-off valve also might be too small.
Okay, well it's from the CX Racing. I have a CX Racing turbocharger kit for a Miata, so I'm assuming everything is supposed to fit the right way.
Yeah, you could also, if you have like our blow-off valve, the same as already on RS,
yeah,
you can actually adjust it to make it softer and harder, so you know, clear up.
Okay.
And that might be another issue.
Alright, I'll try that.
The blow-off valve first. Go ahead and adjust it to make it a little more softer, so it uses a piece more air. That's why you're not over-surging.
Okay, perfect. I'll try that first. Thank you, sir.
Not a problem.
Have a good one. Bye. So, you guys heard that. What did I say in the beginning of this video? I'm almost positive I have the answer. What did I say in the beginning of this video? Play it back right now. Also, last thing, the blow-off valve is face downward now. It used to be face on its side over here. It makes slightly different noises. So, blow-off valve's making a weirder noise for sure. It's because it's not like we touched anything with a soft or hard dampening on it. but it is in a different location and it's making a much weirder noise. We're gonna try to adjust the blow-off valve right now to make it harder or softer. I'm not exactly sure which one. I didn't really listen to him at the end because I was almost excited that this isn't a turbocharger problem. Hopefully. I'm coming for you, bud. Since the blow-off valve is actually face down now, it makes it much harder to adjust because I can't see it as well. So we actually might have to take it completely off just to adjust it to put it completely back on, which is kind of annoying. There's the blow-off valve. It's very hard to see under here. I don't have the best lighting, but there's actually a nut on the little rod thing you can see right now. So we should be good. Let's try it out. I didn't show it, but I didn't get more than a mile because I didn't even leave my community actually, but went into boost for a half a second, went a lot worse than before. So I don't know what to make it harder or softer, but we're gonna do that real quick. It's the next day. What happened yesterday was I was trying to adjust the blow-off valve all day. I realized it might be broken, but then I also realized that the blow-off valve, it doesn't have anything directly to do with boost and shouldn't fix boost creep in the first place. Been doing a lot of reading recently and learned a lot, but it can fix it, but it's not the way it should be fixed. It can fix it by just creating a vacuum leak at full throttle, which is not a good idea. Your blow-off valve should not be opened at full throttle. So we go back to the idea of my turbo is broken. Is my turbo broken? You guys comment down below. If you guys know anything, please share. The wastegate flapper, the wastegate door is either not opening all the way or it's not doing enough when it's opened. If you guys have any suggestions for me to what to get in the future, let me know. And like, comment, subscribe. Holla back at your boy. Bye.